He's trying to work on getting me the right size, everybody. I think the producer in the back doesn't know what he's doing at this point, but that's okay. If you can hear me, that's all I care about. So welcome to LWN Network, everybody. It is Mondays, Brandy and Cigars with Jeff B. We've got LW and Jeff B in the background. Boys will be boys. They're playing around thinking it's funny to distract me while I'm trying to give you the intro to the show. It's all good. Anyways, we're all excited for the show tonight, you guys. We've got a lot of information to cover like we always do. Some laughs and some fun as well, we hope. We thank you for joining us. It's December 22nd, 2025. Only a few more days till Christmas Eve. A busy time right now. But those of you joining us now, we thank you so much. Those of you that join us later, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. And we are going to be right back with Jeff B. and LW, I think, after this little intro here.
All right, nothing like a Monday shit show right off the get-go there. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't let me go to full screen is because it had the stupid text over the top of the buttons, and I'm like, why is it only showing me part of what I normally have? And then I finally read it, and I'm like, holy shnikes.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry, Tammy. I'll take care of everything tonight.
That sounds good, because I think Spanky over here has got some issues that we don't know about that he's trying to hide.
I had one of those senior moments, Tammy. You know, you have them a few times a day. She wakes up from her Alzheimer's nap and starts texting me.
Hey, it's all good in the hood. At least I'm here. You can hear me. That's all we care about. We can hear you. We can hear Jeff. We can see everything. So life is good.
It is good. It is really good, actually. So I'm excited because I ordered merchandise from the store, and I believe mine's supposed to show up Christmas Eve. So I'm pretty excited for that, Tim. We've got lots of new products, lots of new badges. If you haven't checked them out, check them out in the store. Double top shirts or signs. I'm going to show you the link here in just a minute because we've got the Bald Eagle celebrating 250 year sticker that we wanted to share with you guys tonight too. And I had a few of you take pictures of you in your merchandise, in your t-shirts and stuff, and you're sending those to me. I would love anybody who's buying the merchandise, if you guys don't mind your face being on screen, go ahead and take a picture in that, send it to us, and we would love to show people and showcase the merchandise that you guys are all buying. So here is the share screen. This is the sticker right here that we're talking about that Jeff put in the store yesterday when we had our meeting. So this is the anniversary 250 year celebration. It's the Bald Eagle. It comes in, I think, 3.5, 4-inch, and 6-inch stickers for your bumpers, windows, fridges, wherever you want to stick that stuff. So please send us the photos. We would love to see the merchandise. Tammy?
Yeah, my merchandise should be coming in the next day or two, I think, right, Jeff B? I think mine might even be tomorrow, but I didn't check the tracker. The guys backstage were asking me if I checked the tracker, and I didn't check the tracker. So I think that Jeff said it's going to come tomorrow. So I hope it does. I'll be a day ahead of LW, and he's not going to like that, but I might take some pictures of him and just put them online to beat him just because I can.
Here we go. It's always a competition with you, Tim.
I am. I'm very competitive. It's in my nature. But anyways,
well,
I'm
excited.
It fun. Yeah, I'm excited to get my stuff too. So, and more stuff keeps going up into the store as well. So,
yeah, we've got a lot of the state animal t-shirts done and in the store. Just so that you guys know, I might show you here. Just give me just a second. I gotta figure out how to operate this thing.
Yeah, and you got the on the main page, you got the FAFO shirt up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fun one. Yeah.
FAFO t-shirt. I like that too. Jeez. I am definitely not on it tonight. It is okay, here we go. Military LWM miscellaneous. Let me find the states. Oh, you know what? Jeff taught me this little secret. All I have to do is type in animal and those things will pop right up. Let me try that.
Yeah, so you guys, when you're searching, if you're searching for a certain state or a certain thing, you can just type it in the search bar and then it should pop up if it's in there.
Yeah, if you don't do it like I do it, holy cow. I don't even know how to spell animal right now for sure.
This is karma. This is called karma, ladies and gentlemen, for him picking on me. Do you see what happens? Instant karma.
I finally got it. So check this out, because we got War Machine has sent several more states, just so that you guys know. So we've got Idaho, we got Georgia, we got Arizona now. We've got Alaska, we've got Colorado, we've got Florida, we've got Texas, California. What's the next one? I know that we got some more too. Maybe they're not in the store yet, but we've got Connecticut, New York. He sent me some more today. I can't remember which ones they were, but there's quite a few in the store, just so that you guys know.
Some of the comments are funny. Somebody just asked me, is Minnesota a loon? And and somebody said we need Asia.
Oh, that's War Machine in there.
Yeah,
that's War Machine.
That is War Machine. Good to see you tonight, War Machine. Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, and Lori C said she bought Texas and Louisiana t-shirts, and she said she loves them. So we love to hear your feedback, you guys, as well.
Absolutely. Send us some pictures, Lori C. Love to see the t-shirts. And I think there's also We the People. We've got so many different ones now. We got some retro ones that War Machine made. I think there's a little bit of, I think there's something for everybody in there. And so if you check it out, We the People is a really cool one. I definitely bought that one too, because I thought it was pretty cool. So,
yeah, show the FAFO. I think people will get a kick out of that.
No, you might have to do it, because I'm having a hard time finding stuff.
Just do a search on the toolbar for FAFO.
How do you spell that, Jeff?
It's one of those days.
Sorry, I had to say it, because you know me and spelling and pronouncing names. I probably will spell FAFO wrong. There it is. All right, I can show that one. This one's pretty cool. So this was a design we came up with after Mark. What the heck's his last name? Senator Mark
Kelly.
Kelly. So there it is. That's a new one in the store too. Him being arrested. FAFO.
That's so cool. Yeah, people are asking about different shirts. You have to go in and search them, because obviously there's 50 states and we're putting them in there as we get them, and LW approves them, and then Jeff gets them right in there. So I don't know. Mike listed off the few that he's for sure that we have, but individual ones, go into the store, type it in just like he's doing, and you should be able to find if it's in there. If it's not in there yet, it will be in there soon, because War Machine's working on them as fast as he can.
Yeah, and then during the holiday break, we're going to be putting up the women's shirts, hoodies, all that, where you can select what you want.
Ooh, we like that. Yes, we like that.
All right. Well, I think here's the last one I'll show real quick. This is the one that Kathy H is talking about, the We the People. This is one of our new ones too. I ordered this one because I thought it was truly a good looking shirt. So, and then we'll move on to the news. So anyway, this is the We the People. You can get it in all different colors. Here's all your colors right here. It comes in any color you pretty much want there. So anyway, there you go. I think we've covered it tonight, Tammy.
That's good. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Let's slowly work our way up into the big topics in a little bit. But let's start off because I wasn't sure if I heard about this before or not. I might have went in one ear and out the other. But Kristi Noem came out and was talking about self-deportation, and she said that it's home for the holiday season. So, not only are we returning those kiddos back to their families that Biden lost, obviously that's a good thing. But we are also saying that if you voluntarily want to go home now to your country, if you're in the United States of America illegally, we're going to give you $3,000 through the holidays to send you home and give you a ticket as well. She said, as long as you have not been detained or obviously in major trouble, criminal charges, but they're going to send them home. So my question to you guys, and my thought was, why?
The answer is yes, Tammy. The answer is yes. I am definitely illegal. I'm looking for a vacation to Mexico. I'll take the $3,000 and go there right after the holidays are over. Buy me a ticket, give me $3,000. I get to have one hell of a good time down in Mexico.
I mean, seriously, I'm just so sick of the money going everywhere but here and to us. And I understand they want them out, but what infuriates me is the amount of money and time and energy spent on these people, and it's still happening, and yet nobody's in jail yet. And it's just very frustrating to me because it's just another $3,000 and a ticket to go home. I mean, she said that, if you do it this way, you'll have a chance to come back legally, but if you don't, you're never going to be able to come back. But it's the Christmas season. Yeah, ho, 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 Merry Christmas and all that. Not to us, but to them. So what do you guys think about that? I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to ask Jeff B. We are now on the verge of, isn't it close to 38 trillion now? I think we're around 37 and some change. But we're getting dangerously close to $38 trillion in debt. And we're going to keep spending money like this. Trying to convince illegals to have a nice flight home. I don't know. That seems awful insane to me. Just my own opinion.
Well, but I'd like to know, one, where's the government getting the money? Because even though I agree with giving the military the bonus, where's that money coming from? Because the Supreme Court has basically said you got to hold off on this tariff stuff till we make a render decision, and then all of a sudden that's disappeared, and Trump keeps flaunting that we're paying for this and this and this through tariffs. And I think I told you guys on the show, maybe I didn't, but I get a bill once a month from the VA where I pay 5% of my prescriptions. And prior, I would send the check or, do a credit card to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Well, now on my latest statement, it says now I pay the Department of Treasury.
Huh?
Yeah. It says all funds are to be sent to the U.S. Department of Treasury. So Department of Veteran Affairs apparently isn't handling any payments anymore. It's all going to Treasury.
Well, isn't that something? And I see some people saying that the tariffs is where we got the money. But my question on that is, I know that Trump keeps talking about the money that's coming in from tariffs. It's just by, just so much of it. But how have they dispersed and broke that up and accounted for that quickly. Just like Doge, remember all the money they found with Doge, supposedly? Are you telling me that they've already sorted that out and fixed that and delegated that and have people they can trust to handle it and take care of it? Because that's what people are saying in chat, that it's already been handled. We have the money. We're not in debt. So I know that it's nice to think that, and maybe that's true, but I just haven't seen any signs of that.
Right.
Well, I know a lot of people are pretty pissed off. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media where people said, "Hey, remember when we were promised $5,000 tariff bonuses? Everybody in America 10,000, and then this 2,000 lately, and it hasn't happened." I see comments in there. Well, we're already on a different money system. We have no debt. They're trapping us in this space, and I see a lot of the comments. This is my deal. I saw another one where I guess we're going to spend ourselves out of debt, and I don't know about you, but my bank account doesn't allow me to spend myself out of debt. If I don't have the money, or my account's overdrawn, or I'm in the negative, it doesn't go the other way. And John Estabrook says it's at 38.4 trillion right now. That's very concerning to me as an American. It is very concerning, because no matter which side of this you are on and what you believe, whether you believe that there's going to be a great reset and we're going to all be debt free and we're going to live this different life, I believe we're definitely headed for some type of collapse. And it could be very good. It could be a reset and debt gets wiped clean and we get to start all over. That would be amazing. But on the other side of that coin, it could be something that none of us want, and it could be very bad. And so it's concerning to me, for sure.
Well, as with the debt, we can prove that the country filed bankrupt because it's in the court systems.
Yep.
So why hasn't anybody acknowledged, from a government level, from a Department of Treasury level, that this has happened? Because you can freely go look up the document, look up, who basically wired the money. So I don't know. It to me, it's very, very. It's almost like it's a fuse detonation, and we're going to go through certain stages of this detonation.
Well, John Estabrook says we filed bankruptcy 3 times, which we have. If you go back in history and you follow the paperwork, we have filed multiple times bankruptcy. So this would not be the first time, and hopefully it'll be the last of my lifetime. But here's a comment here: doesn't bankruptcy delete debt? Well, that depends on what kind of bankruptcy it is. I know people, personal friends of mine, who have filed bankruptcy and they still had to make payments on certain amount of that bankruptcy. So, and I know people that have filed bankruptcy and had a clean slate. So I think it depends, and I am no expert in that. So I don't know what that would consist of.
Well, attached with the bankruptcy, there was paperwork that came from HSBC Bank of Hong Kong, where the Fang family wired what our debt was to Treasury. And I had somebody at Treasury look it up to see if it was BS or if it was legit, and they said it was legit. So I wonder if that is what Trump meant by China's going to have to pay for 2019.
That would be nice, because I mean, as far as I know, we've talked about the money we've given to everybody over the years. We've really never collected. Trump is the first president that I can recall ever saying that we are collecting from other people through tariffs, or they're going to pay us, or with everything that he's done has made us stop paying. And that to me seems common sense with all the different things that we were involved in where the other countries protecting them, they weren't even paying anything, or they were paying a little and we were paying tons. I don't understand why our government ever let us get in that position in the first place. I guess it's just too long, too deep, too convoluted to talk about, really. You'd have to have a history lesson for the last 100 years, right?
No, it goes further than that. So the last number that I remember seeing, and I think it was before 38 trillion, was and this is messed up. this will get people irritated. Every American, every citizen of this country, if we had to pay this national debt off right now, I think it was somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000 per citizen. What about these illegals that get all this money? That wasn't part of the calculation. Just us, just people who are actual citizens of this country would have to pay back between $300,000 and $400,000 to pay that debt off, and the illegals don't have to pay squat. So here's my question to chat tonight. I love all the comments. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I don't care what side you're on and what you believe in. Love the comments. Here's my question to you. If you're watching later, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share us out, consider following us, and that would definitely help the channel here. But do you guys believe that the national debt is going to be canceled out and that we are going to live in this utopia where we get to start over? And man, that would be great. Or are you watching right now and you feel similar to maybe how I feel, where it's very concerning that we could see a collapse that could catastrophically change America, and in a way that maybe not everybody would agree with? And so that's my question to you guys in chat right now. I'd love to see your comments and what you think is going to happen, because we are now at $38.4 trillion, climbing. I mean, it's astronomical how these numbers. Okay, so think about it. Just about I think it was about 5 short years ago, at least short for some of us. I don't know about Tammy, but I think we were around $34 trillion. So it's now starting to climb at least right around $1 trillion of debt per year. So, and it keeps it, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, 38.4 trillion, it's been 4.4 trillion in 4 years. It's just, I don't know. It's scary.
It really is. It gets complicated, and it's just, I just know that we seem to be the ones getting the shaft. And if there's something behind the scenes, like some people think, that's wonderful and great, but this is year 5, and I don't know, it just keeps going. And this can carry us into the next thing, which is the Epstein files, because actually Trump talked about that today. He was asked at it when he had that announcement with Pete Hegseth and the other guy, the Navy guy, John something, right, Jeff, the Navy?
Yeah. The Navy chief.
There he is.
Here's a comment from Deborah, and I agree. I definitely agree that when this crashes, we are definitely getting rid of the old system. Now, again, depending on what side of the fence you are here tonight, and I'm seeing all these wonderful comments in chat. Thank you guys for the comments. Like I said, I don't care which side you're on. You can believe it's not going to be good, or you can believe that's a utopia. That's fine. But I do know this, that when the reset happens, we're changing systems. It's going to be a different financial system. Now, I believe it's going to be very digital, which we've been digital for a long time. To me, it's not a big shocker. Like we can do all kinds of things on our phones digitally. I can send you guys money right now on an app. That's digital currency. That's digital money. So we're already there. But what's it going to be? Is it going to be total digital, which gives... Sorry, but it gives government total control over us, which I don't agree with and I don't like. Or is it going to be a mixture of some digital currency and then we keep some currency? I know that the Trump administration and the Trump family, Tammy, because you're the one that's been feeding me this information, is really pushing Bitcoin hardcore. And so do people have blinders on and they're not paying attention to what's going on, and they're believing in a utopia, or are we being lied to? Are they trying to sneak things in and nobody's paying attention because we're too worried about what Trump's tweeting or what's going on over here? Like, I would like to see your guys' comments in there. What if it crashes and we do have a reset? Is it going to be, what kind of system do you think it's going to be? A lot of people believe in Nasara Jasara. A lot of people believe that we're going to be debt free and we're going to get increments of money. I know Jeff's talked about a dry run, that he thinks that we've already seen a dry run, that we're going to get so much like Alaska residents do off the oil. So that's a possibility. Or do you think it's more sinister? Do you think that they're going to change it to Bitcoin and digital currency, and then we'll have social credit score? That's a big concern of a lot of people out there.
I have a question. Who in the heck are we trusting to do all this? The collapse, and handle it, and then the new monetary system. We don't trust anybody in government. We know, and Congress hasn't done squiddly quat. We have the House and the Senate. We haven't got one freaking EO signed. Nobody's done crap but quit. Who are they that are going to protect us and do this system change?
You know, you want to hear my batshit tinfoil hat theory?
Please do.
So I think between now and the end of January, and this is just based on some of the open source keyhole intelligence that I've looked through, I think there's going to be some style of 9/11 attack that's going to happen. And that Trump is going to issue the national emergency. And that's what's going to kick everything off. And there's going to be a complete stop. The banking system, everything is going to stop, because we are in the quote unquote, if you believe in that letter in the alphabet, we're in the nuclear winter, because it is now December 22nd. So, and I think I don't think the actual verbiage nuclear winter means nuclear weapons. I think nuclear winter means nuclear amount of information that blows up the house.
Well, I mean, that would make sense. As I was starting to say, Trump with his presser today with Pete and John, their announcement was about 2 big battleships that they're going to be built. It's going to take 2.5 to 3 years. It's made out of steel. So the money's got to come from somewhere. And he's making plans that everything's going to be fine and he's going to be lasting and everything's going to be good moving forward.
Well, just think of all the money that we have spent in the Caribbean blockading Venezuela, because you have supply ships. You got 2 aircraft carrier groups. So, and not only that, what a lot of people don't realize is all of those service members on those vessels, they now get combat pay, which is a bonus because you're in a quote unquote war zone. So that's a ticker for more money. And there's been articles, but my guess is the operation in Venezuela is probably over. I don't think there's going to, and I could be wrong, but I don't think there's going to be any military strikes. I think we've already done it with special warfare. The only attacks that may be happening is with cartels, because we have those 2 generals. I mean, certain news media outlets have covered that 2 generals out of the Venezuelan military were extracted. Well, there's only 2 groups of people that extract military-wise, and that's Delta and SEAL Team 6. So, and I think this all ties in to the 2020 and going back to Dominion.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we've got some stuff on the 2020 coming up.
Okay, I got a question, Tammy. I gotta jump. I gotta jump in. I'm
Go ahead.
seeing all these comments and great comments. You know, military is the only way. We're fretting for nothing. So we got two sides here in chat. We got some people that are believing in utopia and some people that are very concerned about what's going on in America. So here's my question. I'm going to play a little game. I'm going to play this game that, yeah, our debt has completely been wiped away, Tammy. We owe our debt is zero right now here in America. So, if that's the case, are you okay with us still sending money to Israel, still sending money to Ukraine? Why, if we are at zero, why are we still funding all the illegals? Why are we paying to fly them home? Because we're just headed right back to the same shit that if you believe that we have started all over, we're headed right back to negative again. Like,
Because we keep sending money.
why would we be at zero and then just keep dropping plane loads of freaking cash to all these other countries and stuff? Like, so the whole we're debt free right now doesn't quite resonate with me or make sense because we're just still doing the same shit. So what is the definition of insanity, Tammy?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So that is a brilliant little point you made. I'm going to give you a star on your forehead for that, because like teachers did in school when you answer a question properly, because that is a good question. We just did another Congress thing where we passed a bill and it was all this money out to these other countries. What are we doing? Why it would get us back in debt?
It's tariff money, Tammy. So all this tariff money, this is just the way my brain thinks. All this tariff money is coming in. Now we're just going to send it right back to the country that we tariffed. Like we just tariffed the shit out of China and we're going to send all the money to Ukraine, or we just tariffed the shit out of Canada. We're going to send the money to Israel. Like it doesn't make sense. And as far as the military is the only way, I believe that. I believe the only way that we clean this shit up is it has to be a military action. And I don't think the military action that my brain is thinking is the same military action that some people are thinking right now. I really think that it has to be something very significant to clean this mess up, because they're all dirty. The left, the right, they're all dirty. Doesn't matter if you get a good one in there within 4 or 5 years, they're compromised, dirty, sell out, whatever. I don't know. That's my question. If we're at zero, my question to you listening tonight, everybody in chat, if you're watching later, if we're at zero right now, why do we keep sending our tariff money or any other money that America makes to these other countries? I don't understand.
What do you think, Jeff?
Well, I'm going to burst your bubble.
Okay, please. That's fine. Go ahead.
So let's say you have one illegal here and you're paying $3,000 for them to beat feet, right? You know how much money we're saving?
Oh, yeah. I agree with.
All right. So think of all of the donations.
They're probably costing us, on average, they're probably costing us $3,000 a month in social programs. Would you agree with that, Jeff?
Well, if they go to the hospital, that's $10,000 for an ER visit.
Yeah.
Okay. So all the money that we're bringing in, just think of all the cuts that have happened, right? Through Doge. If they are true, I mean, we're saving a lot of money. I think temporarily, until what I think possibly more than not is going to happen is, okay, we'll give you $3,000 to get lost. Because, the American people need to realize something. It's not these people's fault that they're here. Your government, my government, told them to come,
Yes.
and they came.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, anybody who voted for Joe Biden, this is what you got.
Yeah.
It,
That's a good
it, it
point.
smacks of reality. But, and I've thought about this. You know how Trump keeps saying I can run for a third term?
Yeah.
Okay. And everyone gets tired of hearing, even I get tired of hearing this shit. You're in office now, do something.
Yes.
Okay. But if it is true that the military is the only way, Trump issues a national emergency because Congress has failed, the legal system has failed, and Trump signs the government over to the military through a national emergency or through COG, Insurrection Act. Once the military squashes the insurrection, if that takes till 2028 and Trump runs again because he didn't serve a full term. Now, I'm not saying I hope for that. I mean, shit, he'll be what, 82? Granted, there's some people out there that are 80, 90 years old that are sharper than I am.
True.
But
there are.
You only have 6 months, Donald, to show some results, or you're going to get slaughtered in the midterms.
And we're going to be screwed then.
Well, they've already put up 2 bills to impeach him, and they both failed. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. I think something catastrophic has to happen. That's all I'll say.
Well, so that is going to take me into the Epstein files, and it's not what you think. They released hundreds of thousands of movies, pictures and stuff, but this is the thing. So much of it was redacted again, and Trump said nothing should be redacted. Okay, now people are saying the reason that there's a lot of redactions is those political names that we want to see so bad that we pretty much know were involved are under investigation. So they're not going to blow that by saying that. But then Trump was asked today about them. And he went on again about saying, and this was during the, with Pete Hegseth, the presser. He said, I can't believe people are still talking about it, but this is how I feel. He said, because they said, they're still redacted. And he said, it shouldn't have been that way. And he said, but do I like seeing pictures of people that they are showing in the way they are? No, because it is ruining lives. And he said, just because you take a picture with somebody doesn't mean you did anything wrong. And I agree with that. And he gave some examples of people's lives that are already ruined because they had a picture with Epstein. He said Epstein, in the crowd that he was in, everybody pretty much knew him and met him at one time or another. I believe that. But the thing is, we can't even get that shit straight. And it's not just that the Epstein files with Trump, it's the past administrations and everybody talking about it and everybody being involved trying to cover their ass. That doesn't give me confidence in my government at all. And that's what I'm pissed about, these Epstein files. It's not that I want exposure of the victims or anything. We know that it was horrific, but why is everybody protecting everybody? And then the next thing we know, we're supposed to trust our government as we move forward into 2026 and have golden years, as Trump says. So I have problems with it.
I want to address a couple of comments in chat because I feel the pain. So we had one of the listeners said that he promised groceries would go down and they haven't gone down. What's going on? And I saw Kathy H's comment, they have in some states, so be patient. And I want to say the same thing. Listen, here in Idaho, grocery prices have not gone down. I've been pissed now for a year about gas prices here in Idaho. But I'm going to tell you this right now. They are going down. They've gone down significantly here in Idaho just in the last 30 days. I mean, they've dropped, at least 50 cents a gallon. And I know that will trickle into the groceries, and groceries will start coming down. So I can't remember who made the comment, but Kathy H is right. Just be patient. It is coming. It's taken longer than a lot of people would like. I seem to remember last term it seemed like it was almost automatic, and it's a different situation this time. So we got to have some good news here, Tammy, and I know that you have some, and I know Jeff wants to share some. So I just wanted to tell that viewer, because I know there's a lot of people probably listening tonight, listen all the time, and they're frustrated. Hey, prices aren't going down. What the hell's going on? It took a long time to hit Idaho, and it hits the Midwest before it ever hits the West Coast over here, like Missouri. Remember, Tammy, when we were back in Missouri, gas was a lot cheaper in Missouri because they're closer to refineries. It just seems like it hits the Midwest a lot quicker than it comes west. So be patient. It's coming. I think I saw diesel today down to almost $3 a gallon, and I was paying almost $4 a gallon 30 days ago, and gas was at let's see, it was like 360 for my other truck, and it is down under $3 a gallon here finally in Idaho. I think the cheapest I seen today was 278. So there is good news. It is coming. It is changing. It's just a very slow go.
Yeah, I mean, some stuff has come down here as well, including gas here in Georgia. It does take a while. So, and remember, it's not just on the president. He can only do so much. And I'm not knocking the president, but what I'm saying is everybody around him needs to move it. I mean, it's just the patience is pretty much gone. And I don't know.
Remember what he said during his inauguration, Jeff, Tammy, when he said, hey, for the next 4 years, don't plan on sleeping too much. Don't plan on having breaks. We're not taking vacations. We're going to work our freaking asses off. And don't forget that he said that.
Well, they have made a lot of progress. I mean, I will give them that. We're a part of a society now that wants everything yesterday. And with, social media and everything, you expect everything to be done overnight. I mean, look, if there is anything going on, it took us 250 years for us to fuck up what George Washington gave us.
That's so true. Unfortunately, that's true.
And there are some victories. I mean, look, Nancy Pelosi's indicted. No one's covering that.
Right.
How come nobody's covering that?
Right. I mean, she's indicted. The indictment came down. So
that's great news.
Nobody in the
indictment don't mean shit to me until she's actually incarcerated and has her day in court. So
right. I mean, well, look at Jim Comey. He got indicted twice, and but there's something else with that. I don't know. It's people are still struggling. There's no doubt. And what really, really pisses me off is, there are people that are struggling by no actions of their own. And we should be helping our own people. And, for anybody that supports all these, we need to keep all these illegals, they ought to do a TikTok challenge to where you get on there and say, you know what, I support all these illegals here. So I'm going to bring 2 of them into my house and I'm going to provide for them for a year. You'll find out how quick that bullshit goes away.
Oh, they already tried that where none of them would take them. All these people pushing that shit would not allow them to come into their house. Here's a question for chat real quick, or if you're watching later tonight or tomorrow or the next day, drop in because I seen a lot of them here. I'm trying to find where the cheapest gas in America is today. So drop your gas prices there. I see $2.33, and that's Central Wisconsin. So can anybody beat $2.33 in Central Wisconsin? I'd like to see the gas prices all over America. If you're watching later, drop a comment. I try to read all the comments after the show. Is anybody under? Holy shit! Travis said under $2 in Texas. What's the price exactly, Travis? 232, 229 in Tennessee. What is the cheapest gas in America? And I would believe that Travis probably would have the cheapest. $1.97 Westminster, Colorado. I know there's refineries in Colorado. 212 West Virginia. 230 in Central Alabama. $1.79 Outlandish Patriot. $1.79 in Texas. Wow, that is cheap. That is so the cheapest, I remember it right before Trump's last term when I was in North Dakota, was $2.19 a gallon. And I haven't seen $2.19 in over 5 years.
Well, I guess maybe it's going down because we're in the business of seizing oil tankers.
That could be too. Free oil. Yeah, you had Coke on the boat, so you know how the cop sees your shit and you don't get anything for it. Like they'll take your house, they take your car, they take your boats and all your shit. Well, you bring in drugs to America, guess what? We're seizing your oil, and that's free shit for us.
Right. And you may have a bunch of high fish in the Caribbean.
All right, so I'm gonna go to this next. I got two little quick things here, and then we'll get to the good news of the night, because there is some good news. But the problem is, everything's been so crazy with everything in the government and stuff. So I watched part of the Turning Point USA event, the Charlie Kirk event that carried on, okay? And I have a bunch of mixed feelings about this because I went to that event in West Palm Beach a couple years ago when Charlie was there, obviously, and it's a great event. It's a wonderful. But when we talk about being confused, we still aren't secure in what happened with Charlie, unfortunately. We know, I don't have to go into all the truth. Yeah, we don't have to go into all the details of that, but I don't think there's anybody that's convinced 100 that it's clean, cut, and dry, and we're settled on that. So at Turning Point at the event this year, we had JD Vance was there, and I have to say this time when he greeted Erica Kirk, they did a high five, and then it was just a quick little hug and pat, because remember the last time
they makeout session and almost like last time. Okay.
Yeah. Tom Homan, the Border Czar, was there. Tucker, Greg Gutfield, Russell Brand, Jesse Waters, Donald Trump Jr. So the reason I'm bringing this up is these people are partaking in this event, even though there's a lot of scrutiny that's going on with her, the wife, the widow, and the people that are running Turning Point, saying they're taking it away from what Charlie wanted. So once again, this is a lot more confusion because JD Vance and John Jr. and a lot of our people that we lean on, Tucker included, and Tom Homan, were there at this event, even though we know shit ain't right and straightened out. So that really gave my mind another spin. I'm like, what is really going on? And I just have problems with it. I couldn't watch all of it. And I'm like, why can't anything just be good anymore? This was so confusing and it was bad to me. I don't know. I don't know that they should have.
I'm seeing some really good comments there in chat, and I can't address them because it's going to take the show in a whole nother direction, which would be fun. But I know Tammy has produced this today, and she wants to go a certain way. But in regards to Charlie Kirk, I'm going to ask the question. But Tammy, we're not gonna address any of the comments in chat. We're just gonna let people comment later. If you're watching this later, drop a comment, because I already know what they're gonna say, because I'm kind of in the same camp with them too. I love this shit. Do you believe that Charlie Kirk is in Valhalla? And I did a show on this, and a lot of people did a lot of shows, a lot of different videos on this about that place that we seen on the computer. I went and researched it myself. There is a place called Valhalla, and it's somewhere over by Sweden in that area, general area anyway. So my question to you listening tonight, he's with Jesus. Thank you for that comment, Harvest Mary Moon. Like I said, I don't care what side of it you're on. I just like to read the comments. Do you believe that Charlie Kirk is in hiding, or do you believe he's in Valhalla, or do you believe that was all real and that he is up in heaven with Jesus? I'm curious. Me personally, I definitely could see material that would suggest otherwise. So again, I don't want to go too far off the beaten path there.
What do you think, Jeff, about these people being at the event?
I mean, it's still
too early to tell.
Yeah, I believe the core of it's still good in certain aspects, but there's definitely a black cloud over it. And if there is something going on, like I said prior to the show, you almost have to let these people believe that there's nothing, everything is copacetic. Everything is normal. We're all still buddies. But with that being said, there's a lot of weird shit with that whole
very, 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 very weird. Make sure you read your email there, Tammy. So what were you wanting to cover next there, Tammy Jo?
Okay, real quick, I wanted to know if Jeff knew any more about this, or you, LW. The FBI did raid top members of Tim Walz's administration because it was related to the $9 billion in theft of the taxpayer funds that occurred in the state under Walz's watch and direction. So I guess they're building a case against Tim Walz himself as well. So I wanted to know if Jeff or you knew any more about that, because there's been a lot of raids going on, which is starting to lean towards the positive of collecting evidence. It's just how fast are we going to see stuff happen?
All I really want to say is bye-bye, Ilhan Omar.
Right.
I seen an interview with her just the other day, and she did not make a good case. I can't even believe people vote for that. I really can't.
Well, did they? But
that's a good question, Jeff. That's a very good question.
Her and her spotlight eyes, that you could put her on the forward part of a destroyer, and she. I mean, those bug eyes are like crazy.
How about horse teeth? How about old horse teeth AOC, man? She's got some of the biggest teeth I've ever seen. Holy cow. Like she could swallow a freaking whole
cabbage.
Yeah.
We'll say a cabbage.
Jeez.
I think she's been awfully quiet here lately, hasn't she?
Very quiet. And I thought she was going to be like pushing hard to run in 2028.
Yeah, I think they're all maybe they're starting to get the message that maybe 2028 isn't what they think it's going to be.
Well, if all this is coming out for 2020 and two scotches in, Pelosi has been indicted, something actually becomes of any of that stuff, I'd say they're probably going to run scared.
And did you see who the most likely winner of Minnesota governor is going to be? Mike Lindell.
Oh yeah, that would be
in the lead right now.
Yes,
go Lindell, go Lindell.
Yeah. Shower your state with pillows, buddy.
I agree with Doc P here too. They say he says Newsom is their Huckleberry. I agree with that too. I think he's definitely going to be a front runner for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but.
So we got to thank Patty J, who bought us 6 coffees. Thank you, Patty J. And she said, Christmas blessings to you all. Thank you so much for that, Patty J. Very
Thank
sweet.
You, Patty J. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So I guess we can get into the meat of the show, because all of this was fun so far. But if you guys...
Always firecrackers. Listen, I keep saying this all the time. I don't want this to be an echo chamber.
Right.
I think we do ourselves a good justice if we try to see both sides and we try to bring different views to the table and be very objective and skeptical on my part. Otherwise, it's just the same shit you can hear on any channel. It's the same, I don't know, stuff. So I don't want to be that way.
Yeah, I agree. I like it in people, like people having a conversation. It's stimulating to the brain. Why we feel our brain is rotting and we are in confusion. It's nice to toss thoughts off one another and use our brains again instead of just being spoon-fed things. You know what I mean? So if you want, you can pull up the first video. It's only a 50-second video because you guys, we're going to get into the good news, which is the Georgia 2020 elections. I think are the one is going to break down the fraud that was committed in 2020, because this video is the Georgia Board of Elections attorney admitting that 315,000 votes were illegally certified 5 years later.
We're going to, I know I'll make a lot of people happy when I say this comment because it's been said over and over and over again. I've said it a lot of times, but it almost rings true when the comment came out a long time ago and said, we have it all.
Yes.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule.
A bit of violation.
2020, again, we have new leadership and a new building and a new board and new standard operating procedures. And since then, the training has been enhanced. The poll watchers are trained specifically. They've got to sign the tapes in the morning and they've got to sign the tapes when they're run at the end of the day. When the tapes come back to the hub for, with all the documentation, they are checked again. And if somebody forgot to sign a tape, then Fulton initiates an investigation. But we don't dispute the allegation.
Did you hear that? So that was it. They don't dispute the allegation. So everything is breaking through Georgia and Fulton County with all that crap. And remember, who was indicted during the 2020 election case? There were 18 people under the RICO law. That was Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, Mark Meadows, Sidney Powell. So with coming forward with all this, I mean, this is a lot of corruption that went on. And let's not forget that the Democratic governor here, Brian Kemp, on August 15th of 2023, responded to President Trump's Truth Social post about the 2020 election, stating nobody has come forward with evidence of the election fraud. However, on February 18th of 2022, 40,000 sworn affidavits detailing the overthrow of the U.S. government during the November 3rd, 2020 election were hand-delivered to Democratic Governor Brian Kemp. Now, Fulton County is not disputing these 315,000 votes. So it was like Trump only lost Georgia by 11,000 some odd numbers. So basically, I'm thinking and wondering if this is going to break everything wide open, including going into Arizona and all that going on there. Because don't forget that Joe Van Pulitzer pulled all that information about what happened in Arizona. Tina Peters is in jail because of what she did was just keeping track and asking questions and keeping records of it. Katie Hobbs, remember that name, in the Maricopa Board of Supervisors. So all that from the past is becoming present and future. So one last little video on this before we discuss any of this is the next one, because it's Raffensperger from Georgia, and he's talking about Trump being ahead and only 2% of the vote left. And the outcome probably wouldn't change, but watch what these anchors do. And then Raffensperger comes back because they lose him for a second.
Mr. Secretary, good morning on a busy morning. I guess the big question is, Hoda?
Yeah, we want to know, when are we going to get your votes? When are we going to find out who's won your state?
Well, we have about 2% left to go. We had great success yesterday. We had 4.7 million voters that voted. Record breaker for us, beats the 4.1 in 2016. We also had average wait time of only 2 minutes, statewide average. We have about 2% left to go. And you can see where we are right now with the results that have been reported. I don't think it'll change any of the outcomes, but that's what really people that make those predictions do. What we'll do is get.
Well, that was interesting, though. We were just getting to the good part there because the Secretary of State said they got 2% left to count, Chuck, but he did not think it would change the outcome.
That's interesting.
But then he deferred to the prognosticators, which I think is over to you.
Look, I can just tell you what our models say and where those counties are. They are heavily Democratic counties, and it's the Atlanta number. So it is going to shrink. Perhaps, if I were an arbiter of an election result, I wouldn't want to be the one saying yes. And when we count the vote, it'll change the result. I think his job is to be the umpire.
Well, let's ask Mr. Secretary. Can you hear me now? You just were saying something.
I'm getting phone bombed or something.
Oh, okay. Well, fair. You're a busy guy. You're probably all your friends wanting to know the same thing we want to know, which is when is Georgia going to report its results? But you said something interesting, sir. You said 2% left to count. You didn't think, however, that it would be changing the outcome. Right. Is that based on your analysis of where those votes are outstanding, or are you just guessing it because of the fact that it's only 2%?
We don't guess. What we do is report. We just see where the candidates are right now in both presidential, congressional, senatorial, and you look at how many votes are out there. Even if one of the candidates got 100%, it probably wouldn't be enough to move it one way or the other.
Gotcha.
But it is what it is. We'll just wait till everything's done. The county's working diligently to get that done today.
Yep, and that's it.
Mr.
So
Secretary,
he
good
was
morning.
ahead, and he said the 2% left to count wouldn't change it. Yet all hell broke loose, and it did indeed change.
Yep. Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm gonna say two things. First thing I'm gonna say is a comment about what Jeff was talking about. You guys were talking about indictments coming down and stuff. I'm gonna say it's about effing time. And the second thing I want to say is it's more of a question than my comment. I'm asking everybody watching tonight. We have 25 live over on the X tonight, Tammy. So thank you for watching us over there on X. There's a live chat there. You guys can drop comment right there in the live chat, and it pops up on our screen where we can see it and we can read it. So if you guys want to get in the conversation over there on X, go ahead and do that. Hit the like button, share us out on your X page. More people find us. Appreciate that. So here's my question to all the viewers tonight. This is I already know it's going to be 99.9% of the answer I'm anticipating here. So the question is this, and remember 3-4 years ago, Tammy, Jeff, we couldn't even say some of these words that I'm about to say. Do you believe that 2020 was stolen? Period. That's my question. Go ahead and drop your comment in chat, live chat over there on X if you choose to, or go ahead and put a comment in if you're watching this later. I would like to know, do you believe that there was nefarious things that happened in the election of 2020? Was there ballot harvesting? Was there dumping of ballots in the boxes late at night? I mean, Tammy worked 2020. Like, I just seen a comment in there from one of our listeners, and I can't remember if it was Deborah or Debbie or somebody had said, hey, I told you about this, and I was mad about it. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of our viewers worked a lot of this stuff and was participating in our election cycle, and they saw so much going on. Remember, what was it, 10,000 Mules or whatever that documentary was called with D'Souza? So much information out there. We were called election deniers. I had even close friends of mine who now their tune is completely changed, but they called me on the phone. We had phone conversation, and they said, are you really going to go down this road? Like, just get over it. It was a legitimate election, and they basically called me an election denier, and I said, yeah, I am. I don't think that it was right. And so now it's coming out. Now all of this is unfolding. The cards of the house of cards is starting to fall down. I yield to Jeff and Tammy.
Okay, so I want to ask Jeff this because I think with the laws and stuff. So we can't forget that it really ruined Rudy Giuliani because he was traveling around giving the proof with Jenna Ellis. So there's 2 points to this. Remember, Jenna Ellis turncoated and made a deal with the prosecutors and turned on Rudy and Trump. And she said that she acknowledged to making 10 false statements on various media about the election. So she turned coat and ran away. Now, here we are 5 years later. George is admitting it. All this is coming true. But Rudy Giuliani, Jeff, got bankrupted, disbarred. He was charged and forced to pay $148 million in damages to Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss here. So my question to you is, isn't that just it's gonna like all flip it, and like Rudy's gonna be able to be redeemed again because he got disbarred and everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, not only that, but think about this, that a lot of people probably don't remember or forgot about. There was an executive order that Trump wrote in his first administration that if there is
484.
Well, no, this is about the election itself. If there was one single vote that was illegally cast nationwide, that election is null and void. And that went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court come with the opinion that that's within presidential powers because it's a national security issue. And you remember, what was it, about a month ago maybe? Dan Scavino put on his X account a pallet that had stacks of paper that were saran wrapped. I don't think what these people thought was after the election that there would be search warrants issued to polling places to seize paper ballots.
Huh. Yeah. Well, as convoluted and everything and crazy as it was in 2020, and we were all told that we were crazy and stuff like that, everything is coming true. Once again, Jovan Pulitzer, who we actually met when we were in Missouri and got pictures with him and interviewed. He was an amazing man. He's brilliant. He's one of those that's so brilliant, it's hard for him to hold still because he's got so much information. He's like, just got to keep getting it out. But he did all these tests for, and it's all this technical jargon that it's hard for me there's charts and all this, but basically for 5 districts that he did in Maricopa County in Arizona, that all of the tests that he did, they failed each and every one of them, whether it was the way the ballots were folded or not folded, or there were a certain amount that weren't done the way they were supposed to be done. Every single thing along his charts, they failed. Nothing passed. But nobody was listening to that at the time, or not. A lot of people didn't want to listen, let's just say, because they didn't want to get caught. They wanted it buried. But all that work that he did, all the work that Rudy did, it's all coming to fruition. And my question is, Jeff B., when is Sidney Powell coming back and releasing the Kraken?
Where is Sidney Powell?
I know. She's a little bit on X. I see her saying, okay, President Trump, you need to do something now. President Trump, how much longer? President Trump, here's the, information. That's all I see is her post on X every now and again.
Now, I wasn't there. I'm just going off of what I was told. But last week, supposedly, she was in a certain location in Washington, D.C., and she was brought in by the U.S. Secret Service.
Ooh.
So, she's too toxic for Attorney General, but boy, that would be interesting to see if she headed up a federal prosecution.
Well, I don't think it's going to be the end of the story for her, because every time we think it's the end for somebody, even Mike Flynn, they come spinning back around and, here they are involved in being used for something.
Well, right. And remember that post that Flynn put up on his ex with him in the glass box?
Oh,
President Trump, break in case of emergency. And now you start seeing Mike Flynn saying, hey, we need to do something here. You
Yeah.
know, and you know, I'm not too sure about, you know, Pam Bondi. I think her time is limited. And you know, she may be out before you know, a national emergency is announced.
Yeah. Oh, Lynn Wood. Lynn Wood's
Yeah.
out there still on X too a little bit, Mike Fortner. I saw him make some posts, but he's kind of, I don't know, he's just laid a little bit low, it seems like, as far as I know.
And where's the Brunsons at? They went quiet.
Yeah. Well, I heard their case got turned down enough times that they gave up, is what I heard. But that's just what I heard.
Right.
I haven't talked to him in a while. I haven't reached out to him. Just what I heard.
Yeah, so a lot of names from the past maybe will be obviously significant now, but like I said, Georgia was such a hot mess that I was very happy to see that this just broke. I think it was a few days ago, and nobody's talking about it.
Well, no, I mean I mean, they had 4 years of anybody who didn't believe that Joe Biden won the election. You were crazy election deniers. And you know, they always say that side of the aisle projects their shit onto the other side of the aisle, and they were the one that kept saying, well, Trump's not going to advocate the office, and you know, if Trump loses, he won't concede, and all this other horse shit.
Yeah, remember all that?
Right. And no matter what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what party you align yourself with, the Democratic Party in this last election did the same damn thing to Joe Biden that they did to Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Where's the democracy in that?
There was none.
Right.
Jeez.
All right. Jeff, did you read my text?
No, I can't.
All right. Let me know about that, because I want to make an announcement before the end of the show, Tammy, just to let you know. I'm not going to do it right this second, but
okay.
As soon as Jeff responds to me, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so he can, while he's reading that, so I was going to have you pull up the next video, because we have this this topic, and then before we end the show is the last video, which is a happy thing. So this, you guys, if you haven't seen it, it's okay, because it just came out today. Sean Ryan interviewed Hunter Biden, and this clip is from the show. If you have a chance, watch it. I watched some of it, but it's 5 hours long. I didn't have time to watch all of it today. And this video is probably going to get you upset. I think it's a hot potato video, because Hunter's talking about Trump. And I know there's a lot of opinions out there. Why did he interview him? But Hunter's just a liar. I do believe that conversations like this need to be had, and I love Sean Ryan, but I will tell you, from what I've seen of this video, I don't think Sean Ryan did himself any favors, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and just play this video, and then we can all talk about it.
Okay. Oh, hold on. It's on mute. There we go.
Donald Trump were thick as thieves. And Donald Trump has tried to pass this off as being what Palm Beach was in the 90s. I've seen enough evidence of Donald Trump and his teen modeling agencies, and what he said on Howard Stern about how he would go into the back of these Miss Teen USA pageants, walk up to the girls naked. They were talking about girls when he's talking about doing that.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready, and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clock, and you see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away with it.
Michael Wolff says that the justification in Trump's mind was they were models. 14, 15 years old. They weren't young women. 14-year-olds, kids, entire networks that they developed. We have a president that has been credibly accused by over 12.5 women, if not more, of assault, and he won't release him. Why? Out of the kindness of his heart for the people that make it hurt. He's in the Epstein file.
Oh, that was the end of it. Yeah, so
That was the end.
he's trying to throw Trump under the bus, and it is true. There's other clips out that Hunter's saying there was no laptop, that they got all this evidence from phones and all these other things, but there wasn't one laptop because one laptop can't hold all this evidence. Now, what he said about Trump, I mean, Trump did say the things that he said, but does that implicate him and make him the bad guy? So I think Hunter's like throwing a lot of hardballs out there. But I don't know. I thought Trump or Hunter was gone, but I'm going to read and watch more into this because I do want to hear what he has to say. Even though Hunter's a liar, I want to know if he's changed at all. I want to know if he's just trying to sell a book. I want to know more about this interview.
Jeff, you want to go next? I have what I have to say is very short, and then I'm going to make an announcement. So go for it, Jeff.
Yeah. So the only thing I can say about that is, to Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, I bet you when Trump walked into that room, all of those people were above the age of 18. And they have a thing called consenting adults. So, I don't know, snipping cocaine off a hooker's ass, it's a little bit different than walking into a dressing room.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for the record, Hunter, I know 3 people that worked on your laptop, and this shit does exist. So, oops.
He said that Don Jr. stole the diary too. That was another breaking moment that he blamed it on Don Jr. So my thing is, I guess nobody seems to care about Hunter. I get that. But my thing is, as an interviewer and as a podcaster, Sean Ryan has a lot of influence and he has a lot of good shows. I see why he wanted to do this. But as I said, he didn't really ask for follow-up answers. He brought up some things that we wanted brought up that we would want to ask Hunter maybe. But I am not impressed. I think it was a disservice to himself in the way it was handled.
Do you think you think he threw him too many softballs?
Yeah, way too many. Way too many. And he actually
he didn't ask hard questions.
No, and didn't ask for follow-up answers. He even said and agreed with Hunter about Kash Patel. He said, I sat there right across from Kash. He goes, the FBI director who wasn't at the time, and listened to lie after lie after lie after lie. So Sean actually said and agreed with Hunter that Kash Patel lied to him. And that threw me for a loop too. And he seemed to be starting to take Hunter's side, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, I got other stuff I got to do. I'm getting heated. I've got to stop right here, and then I'll watch some more, because how dare you agree with crackhead Hunter, hooker guy, and you're gonna knock Kash Patel and say he was lied after lie after lie. Like, what lies did Kash tell you? I know that some of us are upset with Kash, but come on. So anyways, it was an interesting first hour and a half.
Well, I got into it about 30, 40 minutes. I want to watch the whole thing before I comment, but I agree with Jeff too. I think he's dirty. He actually makes me sick to even listen to him talk. And that 30, 40 minutes, I felt like I can't get this back in my life. Like I'm listening to this thing. Right. So here's my question to chat, and then I want to make my announcement real quick. So do you guys believe that the Hunter Biden laptop is real? Because I do 100% believe that it's real. And remember, they used that, Jeff, October of 2020, when that was supposed to hit the news cycle. They buried that. The FBI buried that shit. And I really think, and a lot of people said, and I'm talking about people on the left, Democrats, They said that if they would have been privy to that information, if that would have been put across CNN and ABC and all the, all the lamestream media networks, that it definitely would have changed their mind on who they voted for in 2020. Now, is that election rigging? That's my next question to the chat. And drop a comment in if you're watching this later. Is that election interference? Is that, I think it plays so many different parts. Just Hunter by himself. And we, as LWN and all of our viewers, we have followed Hunter Biden for years. We have reported on so many things about the Biden family and Hunter Biden himself. And it's really hard to stomach watching the interview, but I wanted to watch it because I was hoping that Sean Ryan would hit him with some hard questions. You're saying you're an hour and a half in and they're all softballs. So time will tell. I'll watch the whole interview. I'll have more to say about it, but here's my announcement. Jeff is so kind. We have an amazing product going for you guys right now for all the merchandise. So the announcement is this. Right now until the end of the year, if you buy 3 T-shirts, the 4th one is free. It's on us. It's on LW. It's on LW and Jeff. So the code is going to be 4 for. What's the code again, Jeff?
4 for free. So yes. So you pay for 3, but you'll get 4. You can buy the 4th one. The 1 is free.
4th one is free. That's the code. If you guys use that code on checkout, 4 for 3. Thank you, Jeff. So, and Tammy. I get twisted up. So anyway, we want to run that promotion for you guys tonight all the way to the end of the year because there's so many cool shirts in there. I found it hard to just pick 1 or 2. So if you buy 3, we'll pay for the 4th one for you. We'll give it to you free. I think you guys are going to love all the different shirts that we have in there. It's completely different from the old stuff. A lot of the old stuff still in there. But there's a lot of new stuff, a lot of great stuff. So anyway, that was my announcement for tonight, Tammy. So go ahead.
Very good. Well, Jeff B, before it gets much longer, is there anything else
are wanting to know
you want to talk about? Because the only thing we have left is a little video, and it's with Trump about the 250th year celebration, which we talked about in the summer. So there's some details I wanted to share with everybody.
Where'd you go, Jeff?
Oh, I'm here.
There he is. I thought maybe the dog drug him out in the yard and in the hole and buried him.
No, I was waiting for a video.
Oh, no, I wanted to know if there's, before we get to that video, I didn't know if there's like something with Venezuela or anything you wanted to cover, or there's other things you wanted to cover before we got to that.
The only thing really that I think we should watch Bill Clinton. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's stuff.
And I gave you 2 a heads up.
Yes.
Prior to the show. So if it does happen, it'll be, I guess you could say, another proof that maybe I do know somebody close.
Yep. Yes, sir.
We'll keep an eye on old Slick Willie.
I'll try to make that bigger too if you can, LW.
Jeez, you can hit a lot of.
Yes. You go up.
Okay, you've already seen how I started the show tonight. Messed that up. I messed up 4 for 3 or whatever the code is. Do you really want me to try to make this bigger, or would you rather listen to it and watch what?
Okay,
what he has
we'll just listen. We'll just listen. We'll play it safe.
Okay, all right. Let's listen to Mr. Trump.
The most spectacular birthday party the world has ever seen for America's 250th anniversary on July 4th next year. Already we've had big celebrations to commemorate the 250th birthdays of the Army, the Navy, and the United States Marines, but there is much, much more to come. We're going to have a good time. As we ring in 2026, Americans across the nation will see the iconic Washington Monument illuminated with festive birthday lights to honor the start of this historic anniversary year. Then from June 25th to July 10th of next year, we will host the Great American State Fair on the National Mall, featuring pavilions from all 50 states, highlighting breathtaking innovations and celebrating America's exceptional history and culture. Frankly, you'll never see anything like it, and you'll never see anything like it again. In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. But I promise there will be no men playing in women's sports. You're not going to see that. You'll see everything but that. As I first announced in 2020, we will build the National Garden of American Heroes featuring statues of all-time greatest Americans. And we will build a triumphal arc as we celebrate 250 years of American freedom. We are the only major city. We are the only major capital. We are the only major place without a triumphal arc, a beautiful triumphal arc, one like in Paris where they have the beautiful arc in Paris. They call it the Arc de Triomphe. And we're going to have one in Washington, D.C. very soon. Construction will start in the very near future. And next spring, we will host a major prayer event on the National Mall to rededicate our country as one nation under God. We're not changing that. There are a lot of people who would like to see it. It'll never happen. And on Flag Day, we will have a one-of-a-kind UFC event here at the White House. It'll be the greatest champion fighters in the world, all fighting that same night. The great Dana White is hosting, and it's going to be something special. But all of this is just a beginning. 2026 will be a celebration of America like no other, honoring our nation in all of its glory. To help carry out these exciting plans, we have created a new public-private partnership. It's called Freedom 250. Working with states, companies, and organizations across the country, we will renew the patriotism, pride, and pioneering spirit of America and lay the groundwork for the next 250 years of independence and freedom. This will be a time like you've never had in your lives. America 250. Thank you. I love you all. In my campaign for president, I pledged to give America.
That's it. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Like,
now, wait. Are they really going to put a UFC ring on the White House grounds?
And I'm wondering if they're going to be.
I got some breaking news.
Oh shit!
This is shit that Jeff doesn't even know about. So,
are you sure?
It's only speculation on my part. But the reason why Dan Bongino is stepping down is because he is taking the next 6 months off to train to be the fighter in the octagon at the White House lawn. And who is his opponent? None other than Hunter Biden himself. We're going to see one of the best brawls of all time in American history with Dan Bongino knocking the shit out of Hunter Biden. That's my speculation. I can hope that it comes true. I think it would be an amazing fight. I support it all the way. Dana White, if you're listening to us tonight, make that shit happen. I'll buy a ticket to see that.
I just think I'm glad they settled on something because they had plan A, plan B, and all this stuff when they were planning it, not sure where they were going to go. And it ends up being there in DC and all that. So I think it's pretty cool. And I think it was early in the summer I was talking about it and reporting on it. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's all planned and it's ready to go. It's pretty crazy.
So you mean to tell me?
Here we go, Jeff. Go for it, Jeff.
That they're going to put a UFC ring on the White House grounds. What happens if this goes into nighttime and you start having the drive-by shootings?
Well, you do know who the preliminary fight is, right? Right before Dan Bongino and Hunter Biden?
No.
So the reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene stepped down is she is now taking the next 6 months to train because she's getting in the ring with 2 scotches in Nancy Pelosi, and you're going to see MGT kick the shit out of Nancy Pelosi in the octagon. Dana White, make that shit happen. People want to see it. They'll buy tickets. Like, let's see Marjorie Taylor Greene against Nancy Pelosi. Let's see Dan Bongino against Hunter Biden. I should be a freaking promoter.
I think Nancy Pelosi will win, and the only reason is because
She hit her in the head with a bottle of scotch or what?
Her husband's boyfriend will come in with a crowbar.
Oh, good. Boom, boom. You two are like comedians tonight. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I want to go. I depending on how life is, I would like to go to that, but then I'm sure there's probably not going to be a much place to stay and all that, right? So that'll be the whole thing. Like, how do you get there and get to it? But yeah, I don't know DC very well. I've only been there once in my life. Jeff is going to have to pull in some credits and call some favors in if I want to go.
Well,
Jeff,
I think it's been a wonderful time tonight. I appreciate all you guys listening. And our Christmas present, Jeff B., Tammy, and myself, the whole LWN producers, everybody here tonight, that is our gift to you. Merry Christmas. Buy 3, get the 4th one free, and double top. I can't remember the name of the damn store, but the
Double
people, our moderators will drop the links there in chat. But that we want to do a Christmas gift for you guys, and that was the best thing that I think I could offer to any of you guys. So enjoy the shirts, love y'all. Let's roll into final thought, and then I think I'll go watch and see Nancy Pelosi work out and get ready for this fight. I don't know.
That sounds hot.
Two bottles of scotch, it ought to be pretty good.
all right, Jeff, you get to go first. And give the name of your store again. And you guys, also, the store is pinned to the top of our page. The link for Double Top. I won't say the signs. That's the name of his store.
Signs. Yeah.
Yep.
So my final thought is, we're hopefully everybody has a Merry Christmas. I know there's a lot of people out there that are still struggling financially, but hopefully there'll be an end to it soon in sight. But if you're out over the holidays, just keep your head on a swivel. These Islamic groups love symbolism and they love to do stuff on holidays. So other than that, Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next Monday. And if you have any issues on the website, just open up a ticket there on the website and we'll get you taken care of.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
Bye, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well,
Tammy Joe, we made it through another one, and what a wonderful night it was. And I just I don't know, I just love all y'all and the comments. Keep them coming, even if you're watching this video later. Please drop a comment. Like I said, I try really hard to at least like every comment that comes in. So like I said, just absolutely loved the night, Tammy. It was a lot of fun, and I think just think things have to get better eventually. And I don't know what what's in store for that to happen. Make sure you read your email. But I just know that 2026, I feel that 2026 is going to be a good year in some ways, and I think it's going to be a bad year for some people. And I think the bad year is going to be for the ones that we've been talking about. I think shit's going to hit the fan, and things are going to actually come to fruition, and it's not going to be good for them. But for some of us, I think it's going to be a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I think 2026 could be a great time for a lot of us.
Yeah. I want to say thanks to David Crumpton, who bought us 3 coffees. Thank you, David. He said, I really love LWN, especially when it's you, Mike, Tammy, and Jeff B. Y'all make a great team and a show. Love you all. Merry Christmas. That is very sweet. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And I agree. I like to be able to say how I feel and get feedback from people. So even if you don't agree, and I feel that is a blessing and something that we have been stifled for so long that is so refreshing. So I'm that we can do it now. So that's what I'm thankful for this year. I do believe when I see President Trump talk about the golden years, talk about having these battleships that they're going to build, talk about the 250-year celebration, the man's never stopped. He's never doubted. He's never backed down. He's always positive and optimistic, even if we aren't sometimes, and we are critical of him at times. We don't always agree, but
but we have to be critical of him.
Yeah, we do.
That's what I want all the listeners to hear tonight is we should be critical of every elected official out there, period. Because if we're not critical of them, if we don't hold them accountable, if we don't have our voices heard when we're frustrated and upset because you told us one thing and did something else, that's not good for America. And I want to hold Donald Trump accountable. I want to hold anyone else that's elected accountable, because we have let all that shit go for so many decades where they weren't held accountable. And that's why we're at where we're at today. Is it's time for us to change who we are and have our voices heard and stand up when we need to be tough on these people and have no shame in it. That's
right.
Sure.
And they do know, all these representatives, including the people that have left, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Dan Bongino, they know what we expect. They know we have doubt with our government. So when they leave or change course, they have a right to do that. But as representatives of us and what they do, the public platform and the promises they make when they leave, I feel we are owed an explanation. And I think Marjorie did a good job. Matt Gaetz, not so much. He ended up being in radio. Dan Bongino, I'm still waiting for more. He really hasn't said a whole hell of a lot, but thank you. So I agree. And that's what I'm thankful for. And I'm hoping 2026 that we're able to have great conversations about all the stuff and justice coming that people deserve, the justice coming for the good and the bad ones paying the price for that. And the people that have been hurt by not getting justice, like Rudy Giuliani and these other people have put their asses on the line, money out there just to be shamed and humiliated and made fun of. And they deserve to have justice, because we're finding out the very stuff they were made fun of. It was to shut them up and make us think that those people were crazy and didn't know what they're talking about. So I hope we just see a lot of truth in 2026.
Absolutely. Hey, silver just hit $70 an ounce.
Wow.
That's amazing. For those of you who bought silver through LWN, Miles Franklin years ago at $18 an ounce is when we were selling that stuff. Man, tripled your money. Gold, you doubled your money. I hope a lot of you guys partook in that and changed your lives with that. I know I helped a lot of people with their 401ks transfer that over to gold and silver, and it should be a huge benefit to you today. Don't forget, buy 3 get 1 free in the shirts in the store. So hit that.
Yes.
Love y'all. God bless. Thanks for putting this all together tonight, Tammy. As always, she produces the show, and then we have our producers behind the scenes helping us with video, audio, and all the technical difficulties. Thank you to you guys. Merry Christmas to y'all. Thank you to all of our wonderful mods. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you guys. Be kind to one another. Enjoy your family for Christmas. And I don't know exactly when we'll be back. Monday for sure next week with Jeff, but never know. Tammy and I might pop up. We might surprise you with something. But,
you just never know.
You just never know. So good night. God bless.
Merry Christmas.
We'll catch you on the next one.